Hi, this is just a quickie. Um, my hair is still wet, as you can see. I keep shooting videos when I come out the shower. Apparently, I don't know why, but I saw this video that popped up on my recommendations. It was uploaded a week ago. This is probably old news. A lot of this is old news if you're like into, the Disney theme park update stuff. There's plenty of YouTubers out there who keep people up to date with all these things. I just saw this one and I watched about 10 seconds of it. I thought it was very funny. Um, so I immediately stopped it and I was like, right, I'm gonna hit record on this and just blind react because this is from the Disney Parks official YouTube. All right. So this is uploaded a week ago and it's just an update on attractions and entertainment coming to Disney Parks. So I'm gonna mute it. The only sound you're missing is like this big string quartet orchestra soundtrack. But yeah, let's just see what's coming to the Disney parks. I may have to like stop and start a lot of it. Walt Disney World Epcot Transformation. So what are they transforming? Well, that was it. By the looks of it, yes, we got some concept art that looks fantastic of the new front space area that they're doing. Apparently, we're viewing it from a helicopter. That's why there's the speed lines coming off. But beyond that, we also got some lovely footage of this fucking thing. If there's any significance to this thing, if this is some fantastic symbol of the history of Epcot that acknowledging it as something, send me a message, hit me up in the comments. I don't know what the fuck this thing is, but I thought it was interesting that they included it in the video. Walt Disney World Harmonious, and that was it. That was Harmonious. That's Stargate. It's Stargate. I don't know what the hell this thing is. I don't know if we're supposed to glean something from this footage. I think after this, I'm gonna go have a look at what Harmonious is. In fact, you know what? Walt Disney World Harmonious. Ignore the spelling errors. Who cares? Because you just click that. Perkins country Harmonious. Getting ready for Harmonious. Let's check this one out. Oh my god. Okay, so it's more. Hello, Fidget. Are you just there because it's Epcot? How does it be a new show? Oh, it's a new show. Aerial pictures. Barge. It's on a barge. It's on 3 barges. It's for 4 barges. There's so many barges, guys. There's barges at the ass. Video screen. At centers, workers are on the service order between video screens and a rotating arm for a barge. Okay, so it's likely it's going to be some kind of a show involving like visual effects. Like the fountain show that they had before, or like their fireworks shows or things like that. Maybe. Not interested. Let's go. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. This one's coming from Disneyland Paris, and as you can see, wrong side, up here. Oh my god, if I can get it right. Oh my god, why is my brain not working? There we go. That's the cart that you ride in. Look at this motherfucker. Oh my god. Here you go. Look at his feet. That's the right cart. This exists at Disneyland Paris. Apparently it's great. Apparently it's really nice and really fun, but that cart. Oh, it doesn't look anything like the rats from the movie. Look at his eyes. It looks like he's from Biff, Chip, and Kipper. Oh, fuck. That was as far as I got, and then I paused it, and I was just like, this is amazing. I need to... Oh. Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. This is a new coaster. It's an indoor coaster, which is definitely my jam because outdoor coasters give me the fear, and I do not enjoy them. But indoor coasters I could deal with. I love the Mummy. The Mummy I rode like 4 times in a row. It's amazing. The only thing I know about, I mean, it's Guardians of the Galaxy, so already I'm a little bit like pre-exhausted by it. I don't know. I'm of the camp that like I enjoy the Marvel movies for what they are. They're like blockbuster trash, fun, occasionally interesting, but ultimately they're just a bit. I'm just a bit tired of the whole shtick of the style. So we're getting into this realm of like post wave 3 or whatever the fuck that they're calling it. Marvel. I kind of don't. I'm not really interested in a coaster where you're waiting in the queue, or you're doing your pre-flight checks and it's Rocket making funny quips with famously uncancelable Chris Pratt. I don't know. I mean, if they get Dave Bautista in to do footage for it, then great, because Dave Bautista's amazing. Everything he touches turns to gold. Hire that man to make your project good, or take a good project to make it great. I saw the other day somebody said that I think it was this is a side wrestling point, so ignore this. Somebody saying that John Cena was better than Dave Bautista in every single way. That's incorrect. I love John, but incorrect. But I have seen some footage of these things. So these are obviously the carts that you sit in. I've seen the way that they move. They've got this new ride technology that lets it like properly spin and rotate and boost in all directions. So you can boost backwards and stuff. I don't know how they do it. I'm sure there's we're gonna get more information about the specifics how it works, because they're always testing new stuff with technology with magnets and all this kind of stuff. Yes, I'm just going to use the vague term magnets. But I think you can see in the middle of the seats, like where her arm is covering up, potentially those are speakers, maybe. So I wonder if they've kind of built in this like 3D sound element that works regardless of where you're facing, because if it's going to be about spinning and rotating and boosting and flying around, they won't have as much control over things like sound, because it'll just be this kind of whirling mess. So or maybe I don't know. It's just a guess. That's all we can glean from these bits of concept footage. Space 220 restaurant. I mean, it's a restaurant. I'm assuming it's just a restaurant with screens instead of windows. That's not my thing. I was never really a Star Trek kind of guy. Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser. So they're obviously going to be expanding upon all of their Star Wars land stuff. But those look like regular ass cars. So is this like a hotel? Is this a hotel? It's hard to see. Hong Kong Disneyland Castle. All right, so they're putting a new castle. There's actually some interesting things to talk about there. So with the different Disneylands and the Disney Worlds and all that all over the world, they have to build in, they have to take into like cultural differences that influence their design. So if you watch, oh God, where was it? It's on Disney Plus. If you watch one of their documentaries on there, there's an episode where they go quite deep into the thinking behind building a Disneyland for China. So not just taking into account like the psychology of the people who visit your park, but also the influence of it on the visual design. And so the castles are always different in every country to take into account what they're interested in or what people see as magical, right? Because that idea is different for every culture. So you can look at this one here and you can see how different this is to the Cinderella's castle. Yeah, you can see all different types of flavors of architecture in there. That's cool. I like it a lot. It looks like a hodgepodge, but it looks like it was built over generations, right? It doesn't just look like stuff just stuck together randomly. Like there's a cohesiveness to it all, and the general shape of it remains strong. I like that they've got you haven't got, usually you've got that one main tower up the center, right? But they seem to have like one tower that another culture has kind of added a section onto. I don't know. I think that looks really cool. It reminds me of the kind of thing that you would design for like a D&D session where you've got a world that is, or you enter a city that's very multicultural, and you would describe it in this way. I don't know. It works for me. It's cool. Disneyland Paris, Disney Hotel New York, The Art of Marvel. I see this kind of stuff. I'm interested in because I still like, even though I was talking shit on the Marvel movies, I still like the comics. I still like a lot of the history of it. I still like a lot of the ethos of it. Yeah, a bunch of the comics I still read. She-Hulk and X-Men are like my top things. So like if I went into somewhere like this and there was like flashes of stuff that aren't just from the movies, then yeah, cool. I'm down for some of that. So this is the Avengers stuff that they're building all over. I think they're doing this like in multiple places. I'm sure they are. But yeah, they're just expanding their Avengers stuff. I mean, it's as expected. If this is your first time seeing this, drink it in. This is coming. Yeah, cashing in on their, with the new movies that are coming out and the new shows and things that they're doing for Disney Plus. Like they're expanding a lot of their IPs so that it's not just, your main Avengers people. I'm sure they'll be kind of folded in. They'll bring them in as like costume walkabouts for whenever the new movies launch or whatever. So I'm sure if you go here on a regular time of the year, you'll be able to see, your Black Panthers, your Thors, and all that, your Spider-Mans, which would be cool if they had. I mean, they can't because Spider-Verse is a different company, but I would love to see Spider-Verse stuff in here. Like if there was a walkabout and it had all of the Spider-Verse spider people, like with the big robot and all that, I think that'd be pretty awesome. I would be interested to hear a John Mulaney impersonator doing that voice. But yeah, when they bring in the new movies, if you go to these parks when a new movie comes out, I'm sure you'll be able to like see. I think they're doing stuff with. Is Iron Fist getting a movie? I remember seeing one of the movie titles was like "and the 10 Golden Rings" or something, and I'm not familiar with it at all, but I just kind of assumed it was Iron Fist. But hey, an Avengers thing. It's one of those things where it makes sense to me. Like, of course they're gonna do it, so I'm not exactly gonna complain. But at the same time, it's not really making me like, oh, I really want to go to the parks to go see that. Like, I'm a bit exhausted with the whole thing. I think if this was like 10 years ago, I'd be like, holy shit, this looks incredible. But now I'm just a bit like, yeah, okay, I don't know. Maybe the Black Widow movie will be good. We'll see. Maybe that'll reinvigorate my. Maybe I'm just a bit tired and I needed some. We needed a break. We needed a wee bit of a gap. Cars Route 66. Okay, so Cars is. I know what you're thinking. Chances are you're probably having the same reaction I do whenever you see anything to do with Cars, which is it's the worst Pixar IP, right? It's up there. It's got to be. But every single person that I follow who is interested in the Disney parks, or just goes to the Disney parks often, like Mega 64, if you're familiar with them, a lot of the guys there are like super into the parks, and they live in California, so they go to Disneyland all the time. They are always raving about the Cars section. They're always like just heaping praise upon it. I think, yeah, I've seen it popping up in people's like top 10 lists, top 5 lists. Apparently it is just a genuinely great park section to go to. Even though I've never seen Cars 2 or 3, because Cars 1 was... But knowing that reputation now from like actual fans, not just from the Disney parks, being like we've built this fantastic new area and you should come see it, and I'm no, that's fine. But hearing them talk about it so greatly makes me want to go. And so if they're expanding upon that, if they're doing more themed rides, which this is what this looks like, it actually immediately reminds me of Earthquake. So yeah, it could be a static ride, it could be a moving ride. Maybe it'll be like Twister, where you stand in a room and things happen around you. I don't know. Tokyo Disney Fantasy Springs, a new hotel. That's a huge area. That's a very large area. And with the pirate ship in the center, it makes me wonder how much of this is expected to be rides, or if this is Tokyo Disney Resort, Fantasy Springs, and new hotel. I mean, this might just be a themed walkabout. Yeah, interesting. Is that top center? Is that the tower from Tangled? That looks like the tower from Tangled, right? It looks so similar. They might just be, for concept art, sometimes you just like take composite pieces and put it together and then repaint it just to get concept art done quickly. So depending, it could just be a coincidence, but it looks exactly identical to Tangled. Huh, interesting. I love Tangled, by the way. Tangled all day. Tangled, Frozen's good. Frozen 2, actually, I was surprisingly like okay with. Tangled though is like still undefeated. Ah! Oh, I didn't know this was coming. Okay. Legitimately excited for this. I fucking love Zootopia. Or as we have it in the EU. I just said in the EU, and that's very depressing to have just said that out loud. Oh well. I love Zootopia. I think it's amazing. I immediately like the views, the gazelle, the Shakira gazelle. That song is a legitimate banger. Like to me that's like top 10 Disney songs. I love that song. Oh, that's so cool. It's a themed land as well. I didn't realize that it had been that much of a success that it would warrant its own land over in Shanghai. Oh man, I love that. I gotta rewatch that as well. And immediately I'm thinking about so if you watch the behind the scenes for Zootopia on the Blu-ray, they talk a little bit about how they kept in mind designing a city specifically that has to cater to different sizes of animals and different types and needs of the animals, and they built that into all the designs for all the buildings. So you'll see it, in more obvious ways where they've got like the tiny little city that they do the chase scene in, but they also do other things like when they're getting served coffee, they've got like multiple layers of desks for people to pick up their coffee on and stuff. So I wonder, for a themed land, are you gonna have stuff like the little hamsters that are going to work? They go like underneath the ground. There's like pipes that go underneath the ground so that they can safely travel from one end of the street to the other. Are they gonna have that, like stuff like that along the floor? Because that would be amazing. Like that would be. And if you had like little silhouettes of hamsters going underneath your feet and stuff, oh man, that could be so cool. I you know what? I never planned on going to. Can you hear that? I just realized. I apologize if you can hear the sound of the streamer outside, but we're not gonna let it. We're not gonna let it distract us from the excitement. I never planned on going to Shanghai. It wasn't really on my list of places in the world that I wanted to go to. But after seeing this, just shot up the list. I love the concept art that they do for these. I would love a book. Is there a book of just the modern concept art for the theme parks? Because I know there's a bunch of books for the older stuff, but I don't know. Interesting. They're expanding the Mickey Minnie stuff. Runaway Railway. I think that's just them supplanting the Runaway Railway. Has it already been built in another park and they're just moving over? I can't remember. So this is the Avengers campus being built over in Disneyland. The fact that they call it like Avengers campus, and not like land or park, to me implies it's quite a small area. I'm sure. By the way, I'm asking a lot of questions here that I'm sure are Googleable, and that this information is out there for a lot of the newer sections, like the Avengers one we've known about for a while. I'm sure that information's out there, so if you are curious, go have a look. They've got full Spider-Man stuff in there. That looks. Oh, that's the Spider Slinger. I guess that's going to be like the Toy Story ride where you actually get like a blaster, or the Men in Black ride if you remember that one, where you get blasters and you have to shoot stuff. That's pretty cool. The size of those units make me wonder if that ride is kind of like, does that screen come down and you're looking out the front, or are you inside of it and it's almost like virtual reality / augmented reality? Because they've got the glasses which give you the 3D. I'm curious how that is built. I'm so sorry about the noise outside. I'll try and see if I can edit some of it out. Yeah, you got plane flyovers and... Oh, no, it's not flyover. They're just putting it in place. Yeah. So that was... Yes, that took me 21 minutes to talk about. A minute and 30 worth of footage. Zootopia. Hooray. That's super exciting. Although, it's 2020 and I don't make a huge amount of money, so we'll see how long it'll take me to get to Shanghai. Maybe it'll be built by then. Yeah, some interesting stuff. There's clearly a lot of investment going on into the Avengers product, which is like, I don't know. I'm sure everybody's having a different reaction to that. Like, I think I'm quite bad for getting exhausted with things quicker than most, which I think is a fault on my side, right? So I'm sure when it opens, it's going to be like a huge deal, of course. But in terms of wanting to push me to pay that money to go to the parks, yeah. Lots of exciting stuff coming. How do I end this? Well, you can look at my recommendations. It's mostly Germa. Hey, do you want to listen to that streamer a bit more? Bye.